Go the Distance from Hercules. That's like one of my favorite songs of all time. It's like it's everything. Does that song come to you like finished? It is from the movie and they ask you to put your own spin on it, or how did that actually go down?
Well, that one, the writers came to us from Disney, who had already written like a dozen hits themselves for Disney. And they wanted basically a Michael Bolton record to go with this Disney soundtrack, become this forever giant Hercules experience. We didn't fight for it. My co-producer, Walter Afanasieff, Walter A., he's known as by most people. You're looking at me like you're not familiar with him.
Do you still work with him?
I do from time to time, yeah.
One of the things I was wondering was how many people from the original studio camp crew are still around today?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because I see him and we talk about different projects. There are people who call him from Europe to come in and produce 3 songs on an album or something. They have the budget and they want first class, and they'll call Walter. And Walter will call me and see if I want to sing on it. And Walter did All I Want for Christmas Is You with Mariah. He also did Titanic. So
he rich.
He did very well. But he's like, he lives and breathes music. He's a classically trained pianist. So he wanted to fight for a piece of the writer's action for Hercules. But I felt like it was finished. When we finished the vocal on it, all it needed to be done was mixed. So that's the song that, you couldn't have any ego concerning producing it or being the songwriter. Well, producing it you can, but a lot of people, like the mainstream, the masses don't know who produced what records.
So when that song comes out and is a massive hit, and to your point, like you don't have a hand in writing it, but it is still your voice.
Yeah.
What do you think they? And this is another thing that I've been deeply wondering is, have you ever asked yourself what is it about your voice that people are actually attracted to?
That's just funny. I don't think I've asked myself as much as I've pondered it when it became reality to me that people sometimes, people are just giant fans and you can do no wrong, basically. If you pick a song that's great for you, they're going to just love the song. I don't know, I just think that when you love what you're doing and you're really at the point where you do control the performance and you make the choices that are going to be how you feel about yourself as well as how your audience is going to feel about you as an artist, they're going to determine that. Then you spend a little extra time not thinking about whether you have the publishing on it or not, but thinking about the artistry of it and feeling proud about being part of the creation of it.
And by the way, I can make the case that Go the Distance, that song ends up touching so many lives through that movie. A whole generation of people are inspired by it to the point where, like, I have friends who sing it at fucking karaoke every time. Like, it is it's woven into people's lives. You know what I mean?
It's now actually called fucking karaoke.
No, but I could open an establishment with the F word in there. Sorry, that was rude.
That's all right. I heard it here, so. No, I know there are friends of mine who run businesses, like automotive businesses around the world, who go the distance at their business meetings to get everybody like focused. Seriously. I'm like,
so cool.
Really? You do that? Like, they're almost crying, telling me about how much it means to them and the people they're inspiring. And I'm like, okay, that'll work.
It is really bigger than any one person, right? Like, it's bigger than those publishing rights. It's bigger than you, right? Like, when a song has that ability,
it's an amazing afterlife that happens. Like, if we do our jobs, it'll have the good life that we want for our kids, basically. Something happens when it does succeed that opens up all these other realms of possibilities with a successful record. and music that moves people. Just never underestimate the good that can come from that.
By the way, regardless of the amount of publishing rights or writing credit one has, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about putting our egos down for a bit. Sometimes you have to put it down for like 7 years and say, I got to walk away from owning a piece of this, even though I wrote the bridge or something, or whatever it is you think in your head. Could have been different. But I think that if you choose the right direction and you make music for your love of the music, you're increasing the opportunities and the possibilities of success happening.